Hey writer friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be sharing with you why I stopped querying. If you're new here, my name is Holly. I'm a writer aspiring to be a published author. If you haven't already, please show your support by giving this video a big thumbs up and click subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss any videos. Okay, you guys, so this is more of a chatty writer life update, but I felt like I needed to talk to you guys about my querying updates because I haven't really updated you guys on what's been going on with querying the Celestial Code, so I wanted to just kind of clear the air and let you guys know what's been going on. So if you don't know, I want to be traditionally published. I started querying my third manuscript, The Celestial Code, a YA urban fantasy with light sci-fi elements, last February, so that was February 2019. So it's been a little over a year since I've been querying. Now my journey has been very long because I initially started querying very slowly and cautiously, only sending out like 5 queries at a time to the agents that responded the fastest because I wanted to really know, was my query strong enough? Were my opening pages strong enough? But I know a lot of the agents at first took longer than I thought. So even my initial like burst of queries took a while for me to hear back from anyone. So when I didn't get any, requests for anything, I figured, okay, everything's subjective, I'll send out more queries. But then the summer hit and it was like a ghost town, a complete dead zone. Like I did not hear from agents for a couple months and I was just like so distraught. I felt like I was at a standstill because I really wanted to be making progress with my works. And I know that the querying process and the publishing process takes so long. So I was like trying to be patient and trying not to send out too many queries too fast because I really wanted to hear back from the agents that I had queried before I sent out more, just in case I needed to tweak things even more. Even though I had been refining my manuscript over and over again, and every time I revised something, I swore it was going to be the last time, but there was always something new I could tweak. And I wasn't just like changing things to change things, but I really felt like it was making the manuscript better and stronger to hopefully catch the agent's eyes. But by the time I started hearing back from some agents again, they were still rejections. It was near the end of the summer, and I decided to enter the Celestial Code into Pitch Wars, which is like a mentor program where they go through developmental and line edits with you, and then there's an agent showcase at the end. And I figured, obviously the Celestial Code isn't getting the traction that I wanted. If I can get a mentor to help me clean up, whatever needs to be fixed, whatever will help catch the agent's eyes, then I will do it. So I did my own kind of like tightening up my prose, tried to get the Celestial Code into more of a deeper point of view because that's something that I learned after I had already written the Celestial Code, was to kind of have more of that limited and deep point of view. So I tried to implement that, submitted to Pitch Wars October 2019, and I didn't get in. So I figured, okay, I'll do like another round of sending out queries because it had been a while since I was now submitting to Pitch Wars and waiting before I had sent out more queries. So I sent out more queries. Then in December, I took a hiatus because that's when most agents kind of take their hiatus as well because of the holidays. So I didn't want to send out a whole bunch of queries when people were kind of on their breaks, and a lot of agents kind of stopped accepting queries as well. So I waited until the start of January and I was like, you know what, I have been querying this for almost a year. I just need to send out all the rest of the queries that I want to. All of the rest of the agents that I have been waiting to query, that I want to query and want to work with, that I've been waiting on, I'm gonna send these out. So querying actually takes a lot out of me to, make sure I'm researching the agent, that I have all of the submission materials right that they want, because people want different things. And so I sent out a whole bunch of queries in January, and in February, I sent like my last hurrah. I sent like so many queries one weekend because I was like, it's been disheartening to, get rejections, and I just want, I want to move on. And when I'm still like hopeful about querying agents, I can't move on from the Celestial Code. And that might have been why I was in my slump for so long, because I had believed in the Celestial Code so much. It was and still is the book of my heart, and like to get rejections just felt like blows to me. But I was still hoping that it just didn't find, I just hadn't found the right agent. Most of the rejections I got were form rejections, but I did get a couple rejections that said, you know, you're writing strong, it's not the craft, it's just not the right fit for me. And so I was like, okay, I just need to find the right person. But from the queries that I have received thus far since I started back querying in January and February, they're all saying the same thing. It's not a right fit for my list. It's not right for me at this time. I'm not the right agent for this project. And it made me realize that like the Celestial Code is just not right for the market right now. And the agents know that, which is why they're not even asking for a partial request. Now, this is something that I have, had to deal with for a long time. And I think that's what's helping me get out of my slump, is not only like really pushing and working and focusing on Abargo's Riddle, but also just realizing that it's not my writing, because that's always the biggest thing. Like, it's personal when they say like your writing sucks, but to know that like, okay, the story just isn't right at this time. And I have grown as a writer, so I know that there's a market for things. Vampires are coming back. They weren't back before. And I actually learned recently, I read somewhere that urban fantasy and sci-fi is out for YA. Like, and I'm like, that works really well for my YA urban fantasy with sci-fi elements. Like, great. But so it's been a long and hard journey for me to finally accept it. Now I don't feel disheartened when I get an email from an agent and they say what I know they're gonna say, that it's not right. And I want my book to sell, and I want my book to do well. So even though the Celestial Code isn't right for the market right now, doesn't mean that it won't ever be. All of these trends in the publishing industry come and go. And I know eventually urban fantasy is gonna be back. Sci-fi will get a surge, and hopefully that's when the Celestial Code can go into the hands of readers. So as much as it kills me to kind of like shelve it in my mind, I know that it's not shelved for good. There are so many stories of writers who maybe they actually get an agent with a manuscript, and the one that they had been querying previously was, rejected, but then that second book doesn't sell. They end up going back to that first book that had been rejected, and they end up getting a publishing deal with it. Or like Marie Lu, her very first book, The Kingdom of Back, sold, and she has written so many books since then. So like, you can never say never. So I'm never gonna say never that the Celestial Code won't see the light of day, and it's going to be my life mission that this book will be out there in the world, whether it's traditionally published or other means, because I believe in the book so much and I can't let this series go away. But if it has a chance in the traditionally published world, I would love for that to happen. So when I say that I've stopped querying, I still have queries out there, and who knows, maybe I'll get an agent. But from the feedback that I have received thus far, it's not a right fit for a lot of these agents. And so I have stopped querying, I have stopped sending out new queries. There are maybe 9 or so queries out there. I also forgot to mention though that I did try to query small presses as well, because that is a balance between finding an agent and going with the larger, big pub houses, the traditional publishers like the big 5, but you can kind of find that middle ground with a small press who take unsolicited submissions, which means that you don't need an agent to get a publishing deal through the small press. So I did send out those. Those take much longer to hear back from. So I only heard back from a couple of those. So I've got quite a few submissions that I'm waiting to hear back from. So I'm not necessarily counting the Celestial Code out yet. I'm just saying that I'm not sending out any more queries. I've kind of moved on in my mind, and I'm focusing on Abargo's Riddle, because that's helping me to get words down on the page, to know that I might make it with this manuscript, and I might debut with this manuscript. And I've accepted it and I'm okay with it, and that's totally fine because I still love A Bargo's Riddle, and I know I'm gonna love all of the other books that I write in the future, and I want those to see the light of day too. So even if the Celestial Code isn't gonna be my debut, I'm hoping that it will still be out there in the world someday. So that is my writer life querying updates. I know it sounds not like sad, but it's taken me a lot to grow and learn from this. It's taken a thick skin for me to not cry every time I get an email. It's always me just saying, yeah, I know what it's gonna say, I know what it's gonna say. But I'm okay with that, and I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about this manuscript that I'm working on, and I'm hopeful that I will get an agent soon, and hopefully that will lead to a publishing deal, and you guys can continue following me on my journey. And I appreciate you guys for sticking with me through the trenches with me, because it's been a long and hard road, but I am willing to go through it because I know that it's worth it. So I will be fearless in the pursuit of what sets my soul on fire and keep going, because that's the only thing I can do. Let me know in the comments below if you guys are querying right now, if you're about to query, where you are in your writing journey. If you would like any other videos about querying, please let me know in the comments down below. I do have a video coming out soon all about how to use querytracker.net in order to find agents and to find the right fit for your manuscript. So be on the lookout for that, because I'm really excited to share that with you. And don't feel bad for me, you guys. This was not a pity party. This was me just letting you guys know what's going on. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.